Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Nvidia stock, it's up 1.69%. So just when you think Nvidia is about to die, it's gonna bounce right back up. And you can see, this was a massive bounce. Came all the way down to, what was it, 110, 109. Did not get down to 107, but we talked about it. 118 breaks, there will be more downside, and there was more downside, guys. Now Nvidia bounced back up, but nothing significant. Still in a downtrend, and if this thing cannot get back up over 118, it might come down to 107 and then 96 to even lower prices. We'll talk about that when we get there. Now, over 118, it can push up to 126 and possibly even higher. Let's see, and let's take one day at a time right here on Nvidia stock. And here's my X account. And if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. And there is no subscription, nothing here on X. It's totally free. And you can always get in touch with me right here on X. And here is one play that I want to share right here that I actually put out on X. DIA, we took that yesterday. And this thing went to the moon. We all know where DIA ended yesterday and even today. This was a really nice play. And especially, these people here, Mike, we got Jay killing it out there this week. And then, right here, we got NC, we got Edley, and big shout out to N1. This guy, he's on my Patreon for the last 3.5, 4 years, and big player here, guys. This guy makes money all the time, and whenever he makes money in a good way. Especially, you can see he didn't go out and buy anything else. Spy calls, IWM calls, and why? Well, trade idea came out early morning. You can see re-entered. Here on Spy, he took those, and it was a really nice setup here today, especially buying the dip. And then we also took IWM at 204, 210 calls, pretty much going in the money before closing. So all these trade ideas, especially only if you know exactly what you're doing and you're serious about trading, definitely check out my link down below in the description for Patreon. I also have it right up here on my X page. On AMD, it's up 2.5%. So finally, did AMD put in a bottom here? That's the question here, guys. Yes, it's holding over 100, holding over this critical level right here. So if this thing can hold 100, we might see a push up to right here 110, and that can happen quickly on AMD. Now if this thing cannot hold 100, we might be going back down to 97 and then possibly down to even 93. It was getting really overextended to the downside today. We got that big bounce, we saw some high volume also, but nothing like here. So let's just wait and see if this thing can actually hold right here at 100 going into tomorrow's session. On Meta, it's down 2.30%. So Meta came back up, even though went down to 623, came back up and holding 638. So from 740 down to 640, $100 gone just like that. And that's why you got to be careful. Every video I said, don't go and chase it. That's the reason you cannot just go and chase anything, guys. Now Meta holding 638. If that holds tomorrow, it's already there, almost there. 650 gap, that's possible, and then gap fill reversal to the downside, also possible. Now if this thing gets over 650 and holds, then possibly you'll see 664 and maybe even 682 to 694. This thing does not hold after filling the gap, comes back down, 638, key line in the sand, you'll see more dump off all the way down to 614, maybe even 600 at some point. On a Microsoft, it's absolutely flat on the day, but look at the dump off all the way down to 381 and then recovered, because that's a big level. 384, we came back up and now holding over 384 but not over 390. So we need to get over 390 here on Microsoft, and then you're going to see a move up to 393 and possibly even 400. That can happen actually this week if this thing gets over 390. Now to the downside, key line in the sand, 384 and then 380, where we got that big bounce today. On Google, stock is up 2.34%. So Google might have put in a bottom here, but you can see came back up and got a rejection here. So 176 needs to break, and then Google on its way to 181 and possibly even 184. Google comes back, support will be at 170, 165, 162. Amazon also going down today 0.5% all the way down to 197, but came back up over 200. So Amazon key line in the sand here 200. If this thing holds, we might see a move back up to 208, possibly 212, and then 216. Amazon cannot hold 200. I mean, there is a gap at 190, and we might just go there because Amazon ran so much. And now, if this thing is coming down, it's not down that much, only about $40 down from the top. So, nothing significant. It's not like it's cut in half like AMD. So, Amazon probably have some more room to the downside, and especially watch for this gap. That might be an area where you can possibly get into Amazon at a cheaper price. On Tesla stock is down over 4%. So Tesla getting that beat up, multi-day beat up. We saw that initial rally after my video came out. It was up like 3-4% right here. You can see we got over 300 and then everything faded the same day. This thing came back and now a new low all the way down to we did close I think one gap here. We're actually on our way to close that gap at 255. So that's going to be next critical support. It was getting really overextended. And let me just put the RSI here on Tesla, and you guys will see that. Look at this, it's 26. So this is not something I would short again, but also this is not where I would go big on Tesla and buy the heck out of it. So Tesla here, pretty much in no man's land. You can scalp calls here, maybe even a short-term swing trade, but nothing like any big setup that is setting up here that you can take. We got a bunch of other gaps down here, and we all know if Tesla goes down in a downtrend, it goes down for multi days and then finds a bottom. So, if you're going and buying Tesla here, just be careful because we got some more gaps down here. And also, you cannot short this right now. And why? Because it's getting really oversold. And we know how Tesla bounces be like, taking, people's money and just, shorts just getting punished by Tesla. So this is not the time to go and short. Watch out if this thing comes back. Definitely 255, 258 will be key level of support. We almost got there today. Right here, 280 resistant. We got rejection there. Over 280, we might see a move possibly up to 300 again. Netflix flat on the day, and Netflix, I had a swing trade right here on Netflix. We took profit on that play. I think it was like 32%, at least for me. Some people got 27, 30%. So fantastic here. Still holding few runners on Netflix. And guys, this is not cheap. I think I paid like 3 grand for a contract. So it was really expensive. Now, I mean, if it pays, I don't care. It might be forming a bear flag here, and that's why I kept some runners. If this thing drops, it can come down to 916 to close this gap from earnings. So now here on Netflix, you can see right on my screen, 975 will be the resistance to watch over that 1000. If this thing cannot get that breakout over 1000 over these moving averages, watch out for this downtrend to continue. And Netflix will be down here at some point 936. We almost got there today, and then this gap comes into play at 916. On Apple, stock is down 0.88%. So Apple went back up, and then finally it was holding yesterday pretty strong, and then gave up the support at 237 and now landed right here at 235. Now it's over 237 once again right after closing. So watch out. Apple can hold 237 tomorrow. We might see 240, 243, and maybe even 247 to 250. Now, Apple comes back and this thing does not hold 237, which is not holding as of right now, but after hour it's up over 237, then watch out for a move like we got right here all the way down to 230, 226, and it can go much, much lower from there. Also, if you look at my screen, I mean, this could be a bear flag that is actually forming right here on Apple stock, and if this thing gives up, bottom of this channel, we might see a significant drop just like we saw on Microsoft.